Hello everybody. Welcome to this session about Qt Creator, getting the most out of it. First bit about me. I'm Erik Verbruggen. I'm working for Nokia since 2009. Working in the Berlin office. We do, well, tooling. And I'm working on, well, let's call it language support. So both C++ and QML. I have two very quick slides about what Qt Creator is and what it's not. We always repeat this for people who are new. First of all, Qt Creator is at release 2.0.1. That's the officially released one. Last Friday we released the 2.1 beta, which you will use in this presentation. Qt Creator is an IDE, and we focus on development with Qt in C++, development of Qt in C++. So one of our big users is, well, us internally writing Qt. So mid-size code base, that's where we tested on. Since a bit more than a year, development of QML applications. I will not show you the QML part. The other 5 talks about QML will all use Creator in some way. So let's see. And Qt Creator is playing nice with other tools you might use. Might sound a bit strange, but what Qt Creator is not, it's not a replacement for all possible tools you will use during development. That means, no, we don't have an integrated graphical div viewer, no chat client, etc. Because there are very good applications available, and to write another replacement there, that's not really that useful. Anyway, the other thing, it's not the ultimate IDE for non-C++ or QML development. So, for example, if you do Python or C, then Qt Creator might not fit your bill. It might. We do some syntax highlighting and stuff like that, but it's not targeted towards that. It's targeted towards C++, QML, and Qt. This is the, I have one slide after this one, nothing more, because I will just show you Qt Creator, show you how you can use it by just writing a very small application, but by doing that, I want to show the things, what it can do, what's useful, etc. So, yeah, well, I'll just get started with that. Yeah, already started Qt Creator. When you have multiple projects, especially when you have multiple projects which you regularly open, then there are a couple of ways of doing that. You can either just do it from inside Qt Creator, but Qt Creator can also take command line options. So, for example, if you give it the profile of your project, then it will just open that. That's so you can create a desktop shortcut or something. Quick way to start with that project if you open it often. You can also restore sessions. A session is basically a set of open projects, but we use it quite a bit when, for example, when we're developing Creator, we often have Creator open, Qt open, maybe a couple of examples open or tests, so I use sessions for that. Let's see. The first time you open it, you get this screen which where you can also choose examples, stuff like that. If you want to open old sessions or old sessions which you already have there, or if projects you already opened, then the second tab, Develop, is where they will get listed. So this is a fresh installation. maybe good to mention, so I installed the Nokia Qt SDK and the Qt SDK, so I can develop for desktop and for mobile devices, Nokia devices. And yeah, I also installed the Qt Creator Beta, mainly because, well, it's not released with any of those yet. It's a beta. So anyway, yeah, let's get started with a new project. Oh, sorry, I will try not to use too much shortcuts. So the project I'm going to do is just a simple UI application. It's an extremely simple calendar, but and I think all in all I don't need to program too many lines of code, but we'll see that. It's there are multiple projects. I could use a mobile Qt application. I will deploy it on my N900 I have here, but in this case I'll just go for a stock GUI application. For everybody who's going to do Qt Quick, yes, you can also use one of those projects. And later on, if you need to add files, etc., you can do that too. So let's see. Let's call my application agenda. And if you have multiple Qt versions installed, and I will show you in a minute how to do that, but if you also told Qt Creator about them, then one of the things it will ask for a C++ project is which version of Qt to use. And in this case, I have it installed for the Qt for MIMO, for the simulator and for Symbian devices, and for the desktop. Actually, I'm going to use all of them. Why not? One of the things to remember here is we do shadow builds. Which means that you have your source directory and multiple build directories for different versions of Qt. So, for example, for MIMO, it will get built in that in another directory than, for example, for the simulator, because it's a different target platform, and you might want to have all of them next to each other. Something to keep in mind: the directories will all sit basically next to each other, next to the source directory. So it's quite easy to find back. If you open an old project and it can't find shadow builds, then as soon as you point it to one of the shadow builds, it will try to find all the other shadow builds if there is more than one. So 4 versions of Qt, 4 build directories, good. I don't know if you're an experienced developer with Qt, but because I did a UI application, it will also ask if I want to have a main class and the UI file, so the Qt Designer source file. And actually, for this demo, I'm just going to use that. Let's see. No version control. That's perfectly fine with me. One of the things I have to say that I just got this stock laptop because it was completely empty when I got it. So I installed, like I said, the Qt SDK, Qt Nokia SDK, and the Qt Creator Beta, but it's one of Nokia's systems, so it is with hardware or with disk encryption, so sometimes it's going to be a bit slower than on your own laptop probably, but it's not Qt Creator. Anyway, one of the things is, can the people in the back read this, or should I make the font bigger? I mean, oh well, it's one of the shortcuts. If you hit Control plus or Control minus, then it nicely zooms in. So let's use this. Is this readable? Great. So yeah, if you're sitting or if you're doing a presentation, so yeah, you can zoom in. You can also use your scroll wheel on your mouse with same as on the web browser, so Control and Scroll. That will also zoom in and out. Anyway, so Qt Creator on the left, project tree. On the right, the text editor. What I will use now quite often is to actually collapse that project tree so I have a bit more space available. For everybody who wants to use Qt Creator as a VI replacement, so basically one screen, this is how some of our developers who are VI or Emacs fans have their Qt Creator. It only shows, well, this. The way to collapse it is on the top left corner, or Alt-0. Yeah, actually talking about shortcuts, because you're probably all using Qt Creator quite, you will probably use it like, or at least I use it all day long. So my advice is take some minutes to go through the keyboard shortcuts, because especially for the text editor, we didn't put all possibilities for keyboard shortcuts in the menus because it would just be way too big. So for the text editor, let's filter a bit. Form editor. There are tons of shortcuts, some of which people will like, or we get feature requests for some. We got feature requests for some of them. If you don't use them, that's also okay. But go through that list, because there are a couple of very nice ones. So, for example, you can move lines up and down with keyboard shortcuts. You don't need to copy paste if you don't want to. There's also like block selection. So the blocks between curly braces, you can inside it, you can immediately select that. Let's see. Select block. Yeah, select block up, for example. So let's just do that. So if I hit Ctrl U, it nicely selects the blocks, etc., which might be really useful if you're refactoring code, moving it around. Yeah, you can do copy paste, but you always need to go to the beginning of the method, which is obviously always at the top of your, way beyond the top of your screen, or I don't know. So this is a quick way to do selection. Like I said, if you use it often, just take a look there or search there. It can make your life, yeah, easy. Anyway, so this is a stock project. We have a main window. Let's not open that way. I mean, we can still go to the under forms. I want to open this one. Nice. This project only has, what's it, like 5 or 8 files. Not a big project. If I load Qt Creator, if I need to find, I don't know what, base textedit.cpp in one of the plugins, it's a headache. I just don't do that. So the other option you can use to open things, to find things, to search for help is actually in the lower left corner. There's this small text field, type to locate, and some people say it's the best thing in Qt Creator. I don't know about exactly that, but it is really useful. So you can search for a number of things. I can do just type in a file name. There we are. This one. But what I can also do is search for classes. I can also search for methods. I can also search for stuff inside this file. So if I let's see, close this file. So one of the classes which got generated was the class main window. defined in this header file, so you immediately jump there. For big projects, or if you have Qt loaded, if you want to explore Qt, for example, then this is a really, really useful one. Like I said, you can also do methods. Oh, I don't have a method defined yet. Well, I will use that later on. Let's see. Let's see what else. So you can jump to lines, classes, methods, blah, 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 help. Q push button. And you get the Q push button help. Great. So this is one of the ways to get help on your classes, etc. If you use, for example, Git, I have no version control here, but let's see. No, I didn't add version control to my project, but if you have, for example, we use Git. If you want to do git commit, then you can type git commit, and it will come up with git commit, and then there are, I think, a couple of options usually. So you can also do that. Yeah, the locator. Use it. It's really useful. It will do the, so for classes, etc., it also do code inspection. If I load Qt, then it knows about the real classes. If they have a class out, it will not know about that class, so it hooks in with the C++ code engine. Yeah, so I was going to open my main window UI file. There we are. This is Qt Designer integrated, so if you use Qt and if you use Qt Designer, it should be quite familiar. Let's see, the useful thing here, what we added, I think, in the last version or a couple of versions ago is this filter box, and I want to write something with a calendar. So if you type there, you can quickly search, especially if you're at your own widgets there. Well, let's put one on, and a nice button. So a bit of layout. Let's call this button today to go to the current day, and object name today button. So there we are. This is my UI. Like I said, a very simple UI. It's then again, I can already show enough, hopefully. So one of the things you usually do when you write a UI and you have these buttons or actions on it or checkboxes, quite often you want to add, you want to connect to, well, with the button case to the clicked signal with your slot. So there's a quick way to do that. Only with the Qt Creator integration, because here we can hook into the, on one hand, the CPP file and the header file, and on the other hand, the UI file. If you, oh, that might have been a bit too quick. If you right-click on the button and then choose Go to Slot, for example, the clicked, you select that, then Qt Creator will add the method declaration and the method definition for you. And because it uses this specific method name, it will auto-connect. So my underscore and then the object name, in this case I called it today button, underscore signal will automatically, when the UI file gets, when the UI starts up for this application, will automatically connect. You don't need that connect statement. Yes? Well, let's give that a try. I think we're not going to pick that up. Let's call it Go to Today button. No, it doesn't get renamed yet. This is no, that I can tell you, because one of the things is that if you rename this method, Qt Creator will not find out. So you will have to add your own signal slot connection there, or in this case, you have to rename it yourself. We'll do that, but this is one of the things where we want to integrate more. It's just that we didn't have any time yet. So actually, well, yeah, let's rename it. Refactor. Rename. So here we're going to do renaming, and on the in the search results on the bottom, you will see all the places where this method is used in some way. So for example, I only have a declaration and a definition. But, well, let's first change it. Go to today button clicked. Yeah. So let's see if the header file also got changed. The CPP file has changed. The header file, well, let's check that. 3 ways to go there. There is one key, remember F4? Yeah. The F4 key will try to switch between header file and CPP file, and it will do the obvious one, like main window.cpp, main window.h, but it will also try to do a bit of fuzzy logic. If it can somehow find out, like, oh, there's these methods defined here, then where is the class file located, stuff like that. So if your file name is slightly different between the header file and the CPP file, we try to do some guessing there. It does not always work because, well, too many options there. Anyway, so F4 to switch between them. Then you have, I think it's also in the yeah, follow symbol on the cursor. No, this one. Switch between a method declaration and definition, which uses this C++, declaration and definition part, where we actually check the code to see this is a method, where is the class. So if I use that, then I also go there. And the third one is if you're a mouse user, then you can also do it, by the way, from this side. So I'm not going to do it from this side. If you're a mouse user, if you hold Control and hover over, then you get this nice link where you can click on and you jump. Anyway, so yes, that one also got changed. Now, personally, I don't like this name with the underscores. I'm a camel case person, so I'm just gonna rename it again. Go to, and with the disadvantage now that I will have to add my signal slot connection manually, because it doesn't have this fixed syntax, so I will have to add it manually. So I do that in a constructor, connect. If you start, I think after 3 or 4 characters, it has enough, Qt Creator knows enough to do at least code completion. You can do it earlier. You can start here. You can start code completion explicitly anywhere. But we automatically pop it up after 3 characters, and if you don't type something for, I don't know what, a second, or then you're probably thinking and you probably want some help. You can turn it off, by the way, in the preferences. You can you can do it immediately or with some delay. Check the preferences. So anyway, connect, where it will show a tooltip with the possible parameters. So here there are 2 of them. With you can switch between them with arrow up, arrow down. You can get rid of it with the escape key. But so let's see. The sender is the UI. Yeah, I'm using it all the time, so we'll explain it right now. The other thing Qt Creator does is this UI thing is a pointer, and you always have to use the arrow operator there. So if I hit dot, well, it's obviously not going to be correct, and 10 to 1 that the compiler will tell you, ooh, that's wrong. So if you hit dot in Qt Creator, we will replace it with the arrow, or the other way around. If you have a class as a value, if you hit arrow, then we will replace it with a dot, and we will show you the completion there. One warning, I use it all the time, but there's one thing you have to remember, that if you use this, then there are classes who redefine the dot operator and redefine the arrow operator. So the Qt pointer is an example. We pick it up, we do the completion the right way there. We will not replace dot with arrows, etc. But it will also distinguish between what's the return value of this operator. So in the Qt pointer, you have a different completion if you hit dot or if you hit arrow. That confused me in the beginning, like completely. Something was wrong. No, it's intended, but a bit of a pitfall if you are lazy like me. Anyway, so I'm gonna connect my Go to Today button with Signal. As soon as you type Signal, it will only show you the completions for signals. So these are all signals, no methods or what, just signals clicked. Yeah, and yeah. Yeah. So the other example is, I will show it there too. For the slots it does the same. It will only show you slots, and only for the type where the slots connect to. So in this case, to this. So it will check this and the parent classes, etc. Which slots are there, show them. How did I name it? Go to, yeah. That one, please. And let's collect this again. Good. Now, I'll probably use that again later on. I will just now tell the shortcut. What I use quite often for shortcut is, and lots of IDEs have this, on Windows it's Control-Tab. I think on macOS it's Alt-Tab from the top of my head, but there you can switch between all your open editors. I use this a lot because I usually have to jump between 2 or 3 files. Especially also because Designer is always, it will never show you that, that navigator bar on the left. So if I want to get out of here, you can obviously go to Edit and then say, ooh, no, show me this one again, choose it, or you can just do Control-Tab and go there quickly. Anyway, it actually wasn't my intention, but I already wrote some code, but, well, let's at least do a Qt debug here to see if our very simple application is working. Yes, please. Oh, if you do Qt debugs, especially if you do a lot of them, then the useful macro is this Q_func_info, which will print the method name and the class name. So basically, if I remember correctly from top, it's this part. So main window colon, go to today button. So when you're debugging a lot, instead of, before I knew about this macro, I always wrote 1 dot, 2 dot in my debug output. This is a bit quicker and a bit less ambiguous. If you run it again the next day and go like, oh, where the heck was number 1? I don't know. So, by the way, the other way to use QDebug is to use the stream operators. And it will do all the QString printing magic for you. So that's great. So let's run it. Yes, save all of. Oh, good. Well, let's first fix this. Forgot to include a header file. No, well. So as you can see, we also have code completion working for includes also when you do subdirectory. So if I would do Qt core / Q debug, that's also picked up. I was just going like, oh, I forgot something. I suddenly realized that there is my agenda application. When I hit run now, it will use the currently selected target platform to run it on. And I actually wanted to run it on the desktop just to see if it works. However, I just noticed that it currently has the Qt simulator selected as target. So good thing to show the target selection now. It's this button here on the left is for all your defined targets. And Qt Creator, when you create a new project, will create a couple of targets for you, etc. This is a quick way, to switch between them. I'm now going to use desktop, and actually I'm perfectly fine with the debug build. If you have multiple executables, you can also choose your executable here, so you don't need to go to the project, select the right one. You can directly do it from this screen. So for quick tries, if you develop something for your device, but I don't know, compilation or deployment takes long, well, switch, try it on your simulator or on the desktop. When it works, you can switch. So let's see, build. And run, please. Oh, woohoo. I clicked the today button. Oh. So let's just. Yes, I clicked the today button and showing it, so the signal slot connection is working correctly. If your signal slot connection is not working correctly, then you will get an error message here saying cannot connect to slot or whatever, with a line number and a file name where the connect statement is. We're now with 2.1, or in this beta, when you do that, you can also click on the line and it will jump you to the place where you did the connect. Older versions of Creator didn't do that. This version does, so that's especially useful if you have this missing slot connection somewhere. Well, it's quite easy to fix it quickly. So another thing I use quite often is, before Qt Creator I used VI. And as a VI user, you have this habit of hitting escape a couple of times. Same in Qt Creator. I don't know, when you're in debug mode or wherever you are, if you hit escape often enough, it will just get you back to the text editor. So if you're lost or if you're in help mode or too lazy to grab the mouse, escape will get you back to text mode and can go on working. Yeah. Oh, one of the things is, so it will also, these status views and search results, etc., also react to that escape. They will, hello, go away. Good. Anyway, so actually I still don't like this one, this method. So let's just call it go to today. Maybe nice to point out, yeah, we also pick up the fact that it was in a slot connection, so that slot connection also got changed. Let's see, so let's write some code here. Let's make it a bit more useful. Q date now UI dot calendar widget dot set selected date to now. Cool, run. So hopefully when I click the today button now, it will jump to well, today, wherever I was. Sorry? Yeah? Oh.
You maintain the same connect to go to the button. Is this going to affect 9/11?
Yeah. Oh, this button is still named the same. I only changed the connection, the slot name, the name of the slot. So this one, well, let's check that. This button is still called Go to Today button. Yeah. And here I connect the Go to Today button, signal clicked, to this class slot Go to Today. So now hopefully when I press the Today button, I go to the 12th. Let's see. Oh, obviously it doesn't work. Which is on purpose. You're not going to believe that, I know. But I know what the problem is. You don't know yet. So let's actually not that way. So obviously you want to debug this. A couple of ways to set a breakpoint. There's a shortcut for it. Or you click in the next to the line number and we'll put the breakpoint there. Oh, by the way, if you right click on that place, then you can also see that you can add a bookmark there. Useful if you want to get back to somewhere. Well, again, you can use the locator or use bookmarks. Anyway, so let's see, let's debug this application and find out what's wrong. So when I clicked here, we did not go to today. And why is that? So we hit a breakpoint. You can see that because the yellow arrow is on that line. Actually, you might not have seen that. I don't know if it's visible from the back, but the icon also blinked a couple of times. And on macOS, the icon starts bouncing. Oh. Anyway, so let's step over this line. And now we can see in the lower right window, I hope, let's move this up a bit so the people in the back can see that. So I stepped over my initialization here, and what you can see now in the locals and watches pane on the right is that my Qt date is initialized nicely to a null date, an invalid date. Oops. So that's my problem, but there's actually a couple of other things you can see on the right-hand side. So for example, this is a Q object, and a Q object has a Q object ID, and we interrogate that. Also, the Q date is a valid, it's not a null pointer, it's a valid object, but internally it has a state like I'm invalid, nothing set. But what we do there is interrogate that Q date to ask it for the values. So if I now change it to, let's stop this one. If I change it to do Q date, current date, and let's go there again, then we will see that launch, yeah, today, that will actually ask the Q date what is your human readable format instead of some magic number, which might, I don't know what representation it uses internally. Actually, I don't want to know. This is the readable one. And it also does that for QString, etc. You don't have to walk the D pointer and then find out, oh, it's a UTF-16 string, so do me a cast and a conversion. No, we just show you the value, period. Actually, if you want to extend this to your own types, then if you're using a GDB-based debugger, if you use GDB, then you can write your own dumper helpers for that. So you can write your own, we use Python there, GDB with Python, and so you can basically script what's going to go on there, of what's going on there, and you can ask it to, no, don't show me that QObject has a D pointer. Also get the D pointer, call this function, format it nicely, you can extend that. So for your own D pointer types, etc. So let's see. Now it went to the correct date. Good. So one bug down and a working application. Yeah, before I'm going to point anything out, the big question is obviously how it's going to look on a device. So let's switch to the simulator for real now. Build. And run it in the simulator. So this is the simulator for Nokia devices, which comes with the Nokia Qt SDK. I chose the N900 skin here. I can switch skin, but I've also got an N900 lying here because we'll show you later that it also works on the device itself. But this is really useful to do some, to get an initial idea how it works. And I have to point out one thing, it's completely scriptable with JavaScript, which means that, for example, if you use the GPS location stuff, you can actually script it and, I don't know, take your N900 out, walk around, record the coordinates, then put it in with some JavaScript, and you can basically walk the device or walk the simulator around and see if your application picks it up. Same for other, I think you can also script the context or the have the application run for some time and then have a battery low event, etc. If you want to script it, read the documentation. There is a part about scripting, but yeah. It's really useful for some testing without deploying it on the device, or if you want to repeatedly test it. So let's see, does it work here? If I go to, let's go to there, I go to today, and yes, it works. Now, one thing about the, what you see here is some drawing mistakes. I don't know. Anyway, this is zoomed out. This is not the full resolution. I can actually do that, but it's not really useful on the screen. If I do that, then can I put it? Oh, I can just put it on. So it's zoomed out. So sometimes if you zoom it out, then you will see some drawing mistakes or artifacts, exactly. That's the word. So, oh, not there. Good. So it works in the simulator. Obviously, now we want to know, does it work on the device? So I have a MIMO device here. Release mode is okay. Build. And actually, before I run it, I want to double check if I have my device connected correctly. So when you use a MIMO device, then you have to go to projects and to the options screen, to projects, and then MIMO device configuration. Fill in all the details, and especially useful is this test button, because it will connect to the device and ask it if there's a Qt version available, and if so, which ones. But this shows that the device is there, computer can communicate with it, so you're not too surprised, or you don't have too much surprise, or at least I hope I don't have any surprises now. Let's see. Then I have a VNC client here. Yeah, hopefully this is gonna work. Yeah, so I have my N900 connected now by USB, and I'm running VNC on it, so it will have to send the whole screen over, so the drawing is not that fast. I actually use VNC here because I can, especially if you have a bigger monitor, or if you have two of them, you can have your, or you're showing something then to colleagues that they don't all need to watch this small screen in your hand. You can just have it on the big screen. Let's see. I already had Math Developer started, which you need to basically do the SSH stuff, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's working. This is my device. Normally there is no password set on it, but you can't also you cannot log in. It's no password set. It's that way. It's the account is turned off. But you can either tell it here to yes. Do developer password, which will generate a password for you, but as soon as you click close, then that's gone. So what I advise everybody to do is to exchange an SSH key, generate one, put it on the device. There's this button here. Because now I just don't have the hassle of passwords. It's already done for me, so let's see, and now I just want to run it. Oh. And I will show you in a minute why it takes so long. Actually, what it's now doing, it's building a Debian package, so it's doing the complete packaging step. Well, I will just show it now. Compile output. Here it's building a package, and it's actually uploading it. Oh. Yes, and it's already starting it. So if we go back here, then so here's doing all the packaging steps for you, which means that it's really installing a package on the device, including an icon, an application screen. We'll just show that in a minute. And then it starts it. So here we have it live on the device. Let's go to, I don't know, next year, the 14th. And then back to today. Whee! So, to be honest, I didn't do anything like choose the right widget size, etc. Qt will try to adapt. If you don't explicitly set things, it will try to adapt, and quite or maybe most of your applications should just work on the device as it does on the desktop or in a simulator. So, yeah. Debugging the same. You can do debugging on the device. It's, well, set a breakpoint, debug. That's it. Oh. Now, I also said that it will do the application icon. That's also new in this version of Creator. But I stopped my VNC client. Yeah, there we are. So also new in this version of Creator is that we put in, yeah, as you can see, I added a couple of, or I did a couple of tests already. So I have my agenda application and my calendar application already here, because I tried I used the name My Calendar first. But by the way, if you install a new version, then it will or if you develop a new version, what will happen the next time I run it is this one is deinstalled first, and then the new one is installed on top of it. So no weird old versions hanging around. So let's see. Then a couple of small other things which are quite useful in our opinion. There is this very useful find usages. If you click on a class or a method and you do find usages, it will search everything loaded where is Qt used. Also inside Qt, because it's, well, those header files are loaded. So yeah, there we go. And you can just nicely navigate here. Oh, yeah, show me that line. It will just go there, etc. What we also do is highlighting. As you can see here, all the occurrences of Qt are highlighted. We don't do that by doing regular expression or something. What we do there is the whole stuff is parsed, just like in compiler. We parse it. We see, ooh, Qt there. It's a type. It's actually the same as what is currently selected. That's on this line here. So we do semantic highlighting there, not only of usages, but also of type names. So for example, Qt is purple because it's a class. Actually, just let me just show that. So if I make, I don't know, a class, demo class, oh, forgot, semicolon, and if I then do void f demo class C, it will highlight that demo class. If I change that to something else, I don't know, I will happily change it to an int, then it will stop highlighting. So we do the same for left to peak. For locals, we highlight locals in a different color, enums, virtual methods, fields. So let's see, do we have a field here? No, we don't. Let's go. Oh, we have UI here actually. That's a field. So all occurrences of there it is. All occurrences of UI are always. I don't know if that's that's visible. It's always red. If you don't like the color scheme, you go to the options, change the color scheme, etc. Actually, this is also new in Qt Creator 2.1 and 2.0.1. We didn't do this fully yet. Did a couple of places, but not all the places. We improved that big time. Let's see. Oh, yeah, of course. Qt, when you want to have some help for Qt, if you hover over it, then you will see that a small description of the class. We picked it from the help file, but as you can see, you can also press F1, then it loads the help. And now it has to. There we are. And also, if you go to one specific method, so I'm now going to stand on current date, hit F1, then I go to the help for current date. And this is a split screen. On the right, you have the help. If you want to get out of here, again, escape. If you want to have it full screen, you hit F1 again. Hit F1 again. There we are. And it goes full screen to that part of the documentation. Obviously, you could also have used the locator, question mark, Qdate. You got there too. Let's see. Yeah. It's a well-hidden feature, but we put it in. We just have to improve the UI a bit. There are a couple of other refactoring actions. So for example, if I write if a, no, let's do not a, no. And not B, then if I'm gonna stand here and either do right-click refactor, you can see that there are a couple of more refactoring actions available. The other way to do this is to hit, oh, no, not that one, this one, Alt-Enter, and it will give you the available refactoring actions on that single position. So for the, in this case, I did it on the double ampersand, and it will, for example, do a rewrite condition using OR, yes please, and swap operands, and it also has, if I remember correctly, for the diehard C++ coders, you obviously write something like this. Now it should tell me to, no, not that one. Ah, yeah, there we go, move declaration out of condition, so, etc. Like I said, we hid it in a corner a bit. We have to improve the UI in some way. So if you have a good idea, then give us some feedback. Yeah, feedback and help. Yeah, like I said, like I already showed, there's integrated help in Creator. There's also help about Creator in Creator. Yes, we have a technical writer, so give it a try. For help and feedback, you can also go to IRC. We are on Freenode, the Qt Creator channel. So we, as Creator developers, hang out there when we're at work and sometimes even when people are at home. So you can ask questions on the mailing list. Bug reports and feature requests. We have a bug tracker for it. Please use it. And there is a forum and wiki that's on developer.q.nokia.com, and there's a community there, so you can also ask questions there, etc. Yeah, I think this is it. So, oh, of course, getting it. Yeah. So Qt Creators packaged together with the SDK, the Qt SDK, and the Nokia Qt SDK. Releases, you can download them separately on q.nokia.com/downloads. Repository on Gitorious. So if you want to be bleeding edge, that's the place to go. And there are binary snapshots. And about the snapshots, I have to say these are nightly builds from the just fresh from the repository. So sometimes they don't work, sometimes they don't compile, and you will not get a snapshot. And sometimes they break while running because we made a mistake. So nice thing is, if a bug gets fixed, it will immediately show up in a snapshot. The bad thing is that, yeah, it's bleeding edge. Thank you. Are there any questions? Oh, I have to wait for the microphone, so.
Regarding the debug view,
yeah.
Let's assume you have an integer or something. Can you see the value at the same time in decimal, hexadecimal, or binary?
Good question. Let's see if we can.
So my background is I have, for example, data structures where some, for example, an element in a map, in a road map, And there are some elements which are saved as hexadecimal. For example, the ID or the length of this one is, of course, in decimal. And there are some elements which are saved as binary flags. So it would be nice to can see them all at the same time, because in Visual Studio I've always switched between hex and normal display.
Yeah, let's give that a try. I'm not sure. My guess is no, but I want to verify that. So hit the breakpoint. Oh, I have to step over it. It's the last one, so let's break here. Debug. Click. No, it will show it in only one way. Change format. Yeah, you can change the format. I have no idea. I will leave that to you, and I will also ask you to do a feature request on the bug tracker, because it's yeah, I think it's a good use case. So yeah, questions there?
Hey, so you quickly showed us C++ Qt application. Can you also show us a simple QML application that goes integrated with C++? And like it has C++ code and QML code, and you can just put it on the device. That's too much to ask, but
I'm not going to show you all of that, but I'm now running through the custom QML extension wizard. What a name, but what it does, it creates a plugin for QML, and no, I should actually show you another one. Qt Quick UI or Qt Quick Application? This one, you can, it says that, this one, and it says that you can deploy to a mobile device, blah, next. Whatever, yeah, do the simulator. Finish. So what we have here now is not this one, but this one. It will open this file where, yeah, you probably saw that a couple of times already today, completion. But there's also, for various operating systems, is the main method is defined here with all the unbelievable stuff for all kinds of devices already defined. So yeah, this is here. It's just download the beta, run through the wizard, and use it. This one will create a really simple application, but it will show that, yeah, it will show Hello World. But yeah, should be able to run on a device if you have Qt 4.7 installed on your device. Oh.
Just a short question about autocomplete. Do I always have to press Control Space? Because, for example, in Kdevelop, it will just remember what I've already defined, and after 3 letters it would autocomplete. Because now I'm trying, and I really have to explicitly control space.
It's an option to turn it on or off. I don't know from the top of my head what the default is on that. As soon as you write, let's see, 1, 2, 3 letters, it will pop up auto-completion. If you don't have that, then there's under Tools, Options, Completion, you can tune the completion there. give it a try. If it doesn't work, let's do that after the session.
Let's suppose that I open a file which is in a CVS repository.
Mm-hmm.
And I do some changes, but someone else does some changes and commit the file to the repository. Will the file be updated?
No, not automatically, because...
So it's manual somewhere?
Yeah. You have to do it manually, otherwise, I mean, for Qt, we use Git, also a version control system. If we would do that, then we would get completely mad. If we would do that automatically, because there could easily be 100 commits a day. So that will, and recompiling Qt, well, if you do the wrong change, it can take, I don't know, 2 hours. If you don't do it distributed. So if you automatically update, that would kill productivity big time, but let's see. So under the tools menu, there you also have all the version control systems. I'm not using any right now, but you can do the actions here. Our integration with version control system is that we just run the command. We can pick up diffs, we can nicely color diffs, but we don't do any more magic there. So if you would normally do CVS update for CVS, then yeah, you can either click here or in the locator, you can type CVS space update, and it will also come with that option. So yeah. Any more questions?
Sometimes on the left side you see this little bar saying parsing. I think it's when it's updating its index, isn't it?
Yeah, it's doing that when I choose a new target.
Yeah.
Now it will pop up because I choose a different installation of Qt, so different header files. So, well, it has to reparse, reread all those files.
Yeah, the question is when I have a large project, for example, we have projects with more than 5,000 files. Is there any way to control when the index is updating on the user side? In our case, this parsing is takes so long that you cannot work in the UA in this time.
I will answer that question. I want to talk to you later on in detail about what kind of code you have, because if it takes more than 2 minutes, I'm really surprised. So the other thing is that no, you can't control that by turning it off. The only thing you can do, if you want to force it, or if you think what's going on, it didn't get anything, you can force it to reparse with update code model under tools C++ here, and you can do update code model, and it will also, actually that was fast. I think it does a couple of checks to see if it actually needs to reparse, but that's the only way to basically force it. You can't turn it off. Yeah. But about the code you have, I would like to have a chat later on to see what you have, because even for Qt, if we load Qt, it takes 2 minutes maximum, somewhere between 1 and 2 minutes, and that's more than 5,000 files. I think it's more than 50,000. So it should be fast. So I want to know what it is. We need to fix that. Let's see. We have 5 minutes left, so.
You mentioned you can make custom times for GDB debugger. Is there a way to do that for CDB too?
Yeah, by writing some C++ code in the CDB plugin. And that's probably not something you want to do. But unfortunately, what we basically do with GDB and Python, so Python and enable GDB, is that we start Python and tell it to load the GDB plugin. And then we just start spewing out Python code, which gets executed, which tells the debugger to do something. So we completely rely on that part. For CDB, unfortunately, as far as I know, we don't have that. As far as I know, we are directly loading CDB inside Creator and calling functions on it. You can extend it, but you will have to recompile Creator. If you think you really, really need that quite often, then at least do a feature request, because maybe we can at least make it easier by, I don't know, make it pluggable. So you write a plugin which does it for you. I don't know, but I think you might also be the first one to ask this. So please do a bug report or a feature request there. I think there was one more question here. I think, yeah.
We saw that the Qt designer is integrated, and I think there is also a QML designer.
Yes.
Is this part of the Qt creator, or it's also an independent tool?
Let's see. One feature I didn't show you. If you go to Help and then About Plugins, then you can see all the plugins, but especially also disabled plugins. And if you want to, you can turn plugins off. So if you think Qt Creator takes way too long to load, you can turn plugins off. They don't get loaded, is faster. So for example, if you don't use FakeVim, you can turn it off here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a QML designer. And it's green. So let me just fix this and go click here on the left on design mode. Now it should get loaded. Ah, there we are. So yes, from Qt Creator 2.1, it's part of Qt Creator. No, there's no separate executable for it. Because what we do there is, if you change something here, if you change the, let's take Hello World, and if we change the X position, did I select Hello World? Oh, yeah, it's anchored. Is visible, I don't know. If you change that, then the code is edited immediately. And what we do there is we do refactoring there. So if you change, let's change the Hello World text. And now first let's give it a horrible layout. Something like this. And now if everything works correctly, I can go to the text, add a couple of exclamation marks, go back to edit mode, and we see that A, the exclamation marks are there, so the edits are there, and B, we also keep all your indentation. If you, I don't know, we refactor there, and for refactoring we need complete integration, so there's no separate editor, because, or yeah, there is one big separate executable called Qt Creator. Then again, if you want to edit it separately, what you do is you start it on the command line and give it a .qml file, and it will start here. Start right here. So, okay. One more question. Yeah.
I understand that you support Mac, Linux, and Windows.
Yeah.
And I have the impression that the primary target is Windows because the Qt SDK runs fine with integration with all the tools and everything. Is that true? I mean, should I use Windows, or do you think that Linux is up to the task, or at least close to that?
For Qt Creator, we have in the office we have all of it. We have Windows, Linux, macOS. There is no primary target. Actually, those three together are the primary target. For the Qt Nokia SDK, actually for the Qt SDK, same there. It's all three are main platform. For Qt Nokia SDK, yes, Windows runs best, but that's mainly and actually only because the Symbian toolchain is officially supported on Windows. It's not officially supported on Linux and not officially supported on macOS. And there are a couple of ways to work around that, and we are thinking of using that in a future version of the Qt Nokia SDK, but That's, I don't know exactly how that will go, but that's the reason why for the Qt Nokia SDK, especially if you do Symbian development, use a Windows system. However, I think with the Qt Nokia SDK version 1.1, or the last preview I saw, you have a remote compiler option, which is off by default. It's experimental, and that will send your source to Nokia. They will compile it for you, and you get the executable back. So that will also work on Linux and macOS. We tested it on both, on Linux and macOS, and there you can also do that Symbian development on those. Yeah, actually, to be honest, I prepared this presentation on macOS, but I forgot my display adapter cable. So I switched last minute to this machine, but it's the same. Also MIMO, it works perfect. It's yeah. So sorry, for MIMO, Linux, Windows, macOS, all three are fully supported. Period. Okay, thank you. I think it's now lunch break.